Morning, my dear students. I would like to continue with the discussion on the topic going local. In my two previous videos, I talked about the first four paragraphs from this essay. In my last video, I talked about the importance of going local in terms of food production. The writer speaks about implementing localization in producing food. We looked at the environmental and economic benefits of localization. We learned that how it reduces food miles and in that way helps in protecting environment by reducing fossil fuel and pollution. We also mentioned the chances of diversification and how it benefits the land. We talked about these 2 points, and also we mentioned the economic benefits of localization. We learned that it rejuvenates the local economy by giving farmers more opportunities to work in the field, and in that way gives a fresh life for the local economy to flourish. Now let's look at the other aspects as well. We have to understand that when you adopt local food, we are getting a chance to use fresh food items. We need to understand that when you are focusing on global food, the problem is that they use additives and preservatives, since we need to preserve this for a longer period. They give focus to shelf life. That means how long we can keep these food items in the stores. So for that, naturally, they require chemicals. But when it comes to the case of local food, as we have learned, local foods are produced with the intention for a local or regional consumption. We don't have to use that kind of chemicals. So we get far fresher and more nutritious food items. And also we have to understand that the local farmers, they can cultivate food items that are suitable to the climate. So here we are not focusing on the transportability or the shelf life. Instead, we focus on nutritious aspects and the climatic change. So here we also experience a chances to use a fresh and nutritious food item. That is the health wise as well. We enjoy the benefits. And also we need to understand that more number of studies show that when you go for local kind of production, it gives more output. That is also something that we need to understand. Unlike the monocultural production, which uses heavy equipment, the output is much more increased when you go for diversified productions. So these are some of the environmental benefits that we need to understand. And look at the price that we pay. When you buy global food, you need to understand that we have to pay more money because we are paying for the advertisement, we are paying for the packaging. In that way, we are paying not the exact price that are required for the food that we purchase. So when we go for local food, these kinds of extra money need not to be paid. So in that way, it saves our money as well. So there are a number of benefits that we have when you go for local food. And that's why one of the problems that we face globally is the problem of hunger. This endemic hunger can be solved when you go for localization. This is something that can bring a very immediate impact, as I mentioned, environmentally, economically, and socially. People get more connected because we employ number of workers and socialization will take place. So in that way, it helps the local economy to get revived. Localization is not just limited to the production of food. We can find that in the field of medicine and architecture as well, localization is now being implemented. In the field of medicine, we find that the doctors are not going for the commercialized aspects of medicine, but we find that they tend to use herbs and other natural remedies for treating the patients. So we find in the field of medicine also there are experiments are conducted these days, and how we can use localization in that field as well. And in the field of architecture, we find that people tend to use number of local items for constructing buildings and things like that. So localization is something that we can implement in different fields. The main aim is to bring back local economies. We need to understand that global economy is something that controls different parts of the world, and it actually destroys the economic security of different parts of the globe. One of the ways to tackle this is to create local initiatives, and she also suggests breakaway strategies. That means the government should take some policy changes. They should leave the World Trade Organizations and take some kinds of steps to strengthen local economy. What she suggests is to create alliance of small scale productions. That means that kind of collaborations, and strengthen local economy by adopting different strategies. For that, government intervention is something that we require. Students, we can understand that this essay is a systematic and logical arguments to move away from the global systems of commerce to that of local. This essay calls for the importance to adopting local businesses and to strengthen local economies. Localization is a slogan that will help to overcome some of the problems that we face globally, such as environmental crisis like global warming and economic wars, and also it caters for a sustainable life. Thank you.